My childhood anecdote. When I was a little kid, I was so daring. I was always adventurous. I remember always wanting to go outside and explore. I always wanted to, make new friends, find new things to play with. I was always outgoing. I remember being very naive growing up. I had no idea. How many of you thought that you were invincible as a kid? Because growing up, I knew I was a superwoman and I thought I never got hurt. Growing up with an older sibling, it was definitely a battle. I remember always wanting to compete against my siblings. It was always a race to see, who was smarter, who was, faster, who was better at whatever. We would always double dare each other, and we would never back down from a double dare. I remember I was around 4 years old. We lived in an old house up in 77 in Sunny Hills. And I remember me and my older brother would always go outside and have adventures together. We would, race down to the lake and, see who could touch the water and race back the first person to win. And I remember us, always finding frogs and lizards and catching them and playing with them. I also remember climbing trees as a child. It's my favorite thing to do. It was my best thing that I could do. I would always win. I was always first, and it made me so happy because that was, the one good thing that I could beat my brothers at. Me and my older brother, Ryan, were both very daring kids growing up. We never backed down from any challenge that we faced. We would always see who could be more braver than the other, and we would always, just tease each other and see who could be better at what. I also felt like, we had nothing to lose when we were growing up. No responsibilities. We had no care in the world about anything. I remember one day after coming home from church on Sunday morning, it was so beautiful outside. It was sunny and 75, and it was so beautiful outside. Me and my brother couldn't refuse to go outside and play. I remember it being so humid, my hair would stick to my neck and my head just because it was so hot outside. I remember us running around in the backyard. I was chasing our dogs. We had German Shepherds, and they were very loyal, and they would always play with us and keep us company. I remember as I was playing and picking up flowers, I see my older brother in the distance playing by our old shed that we had in our backyard. It was in the very corner. I would pick up flowers and give them to my mom. I remember they were actually weeds and not flowers because I didn't know the difference. I was too naive to realize what was actually supposed to be beautiful versus a weed. But it was the thought that counted. I remember as I was running back outside to play, a butterfly. It was so beautiful. I remember it was purple and blue with yellow stripes on the tip of its wings. It was so pretty, and it landed on my hand. It made me so happy because growing up I loved butterflies because, they were beautiful and majestic and gentle. I remember the fact that it landed on my hand, I felt like a princess because butterflies were beautiful and they never ever landed on me. I remember as it landed on my hand, it was starting to flutter its wings to begin to take off. And as it goes away in the distance, I'm following it in my view, and I see it go, and out of nowhere, whack, an old rusty shovel hits me in the face. I am just appalled. I am taken down. I'm on the ground. I'm hysterically crying. I'm holding my face, not knowing what just happened. I was so confused and I was in distress and I had no idea what was happening. I remember my older brother, being the older sibling that he is and not wanting to get in trouble, I remember him pushing me back and, Ashley, it's okay, I'm sorry, it was an accident, I didn't mean to hurt you, you can hit me, don't tell mom. As I was pushing him to the side, I couldn't even feel half of my face. As I finally reached the door, feeling like, yes, I at least made it to my mom, without thinking, I just screamed, Ryan hit me in the face with a shovel. And my dad just goes, what? And before my dad could interrogate my older brother on why on earth he would hit his little sister with a shovel, my mom calms my dad down, and, tries to get the full story before, jumping to any conclusions. So after my brother, calms down and isn't scared, he tells my brother, or my dad, that he was playing by the old shed and he found this old rusty shovel and it was falling apart. And he's like, I don't want anyone to get hurt, so, I'm going to throw this away. So as he throws it away, little old me is, standing behind him. So once he stated his case, they took me to the hospital. I remember sitting in the waiting room. It smelled like old people and chemicals. I felt like I was there for days, and I was just holding my face, and I felt like I was going to lose an eye or I was going to go blind. I was so scared. But once I talked to the doctor and he, looked at my eye, he told me that the shovel managed to cut off the first couple layers of my cornea, which is the first couple layers of your eyeball. I was so lucky because, any further, I could have lost an eye, maybe worse, I could have gotten brain damage. It was very scary. I remember I had to wear an eye patch to school, and that really put me in the perspective that, I'm not invincible, and that, although I am daring and adventurous, I need to be more careful. Although I was, in my own home where I felt, the most safe, in my own house, I still ended up getting hurt. And, that lesson taught me that I should be more aware of my surroundings and be more careful when playing. So I was outside playing the next day. It was all back to normal from there. And that was my childhood anecdote.